when you have a chance to
Cool kids, how we doing then? I'm here to tell you that in the old days, back before the Vietnams, oh wait, it was after Vietnam. Anyway, way back in the Wayback Machine, we used to do fun things like play D&D. And the D&D we played, you see, was Hero Quest, you see. Is that right?
Maybe. I'm not watching.
No. I got that wrong, don't I? Oh, alright. My assistant says I'm totally off base. And he's actually wanting a video. Here, get out of here, you wanker. Okay. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, he said. 2nd edition. Player's Handbook. And he said to me, he says, the director of this little video, he says, Josh, how do I make a character sheet if I don't have a pre-made character sheet? Because these new people, they don't know what to do unless they got a freaking authentic, from the manufacturer, player sheet. And I said, poppycock. We don't play that. We do it the old-fashioned way. We make our character sheets from scratch. And so, as luck would have it, I haven't done this before. I've decided to show him how to do that. You see. So, the first thing you need to do is get a piece of paper. This is nice cardstock, but that's not required. You can use regular notebook paper. Toilet paper will work in a pinch. That's right. So, first thing you want to do. Now, typically, in the old days, you would see things like someone would want to customize their character. So this section was for a portrait, right? So there's our portrait of our character. Let's give him a little tongue, right? And a nose, right? There we go. That's our character, right? And his name is... So that's the first thing, isn't it? Isn't it?
Tibbet.
His... Right here, name, right? And his name is Snot E Face. Snot E Face. That's his name. Well, what's the second thing we need to know about him? Well, if you notice in the book, there's a selection of different races. Now, species is what we might call them today, but back in the good old days, they were called races, right? So, second block, race, right? This is 2E. This isn't mamby-pamby, 5th edition, whatever. You die in this edition. Like, you can be 20th level and die on one roll edition. So, Snotty Face is a human, right? He's a human. Now, what else do we need to know about Snotty Face? Well, we need to know... Now, there's some subclasses here of things. You could want to know his birth rank. You could want to know his social class, socio-economic class. There are charts in the game for all of that, but we're going to keep it simple. Hey, you better keep your yap shut, you. Class, right? So class is specifically the class that your character's playing. In this case, Snotty Face is a fighter. And, warrior is a overall class, but fighter is his specific class. The warrior includes ranger, barbarian, which they didn't have in 2E specifically, but it is in the fighter's handbook, or the barbarian's handbook, I can't remember. Anyway, I'm dropping the accent. There are barbarians, but they're from the fighter's handbook. But the ranger, paladin, and fighter and gladiator from your Dark Sun campaign all fall in the warrior class. So you could put, technically, warrior here, which covers all those classes as a super class, right? So you have mage. A
master class.
A mage would consider all wizards and specialized mages. So
Like
your
illusionist.
illusionist, right? You got it.
Conjuration.
That's right. A priest would include clerics and other oddball stuff that came.
Warlocks. Thief.
Rogues. Rogues would include thieves and bards. Right. So you got it. So
Inquisitors even.
there's categories of classes, but the actual class is fighter in this case. Right. Now, the other things we need to know about this person. What is their sex? Did I say it right? Sex? Or is there some other term that they use nowadays that perhaps would be different in sex?
Sex identity.
Well, perhaps identity. Perhaps I identify as.
Just to be safe, we should put them as two separate things.
What if we said gender instead? What if we said gender?
Well, how many options do I have?
Well, that's funny. You should mention that. In the old days, it was M or F, as in MFer. But now, you can be whatever you want to be. It's a spectrum, so to speak.
Put God, King, Dragon, Lord, Emperor.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dark Overlord is my preferred pronoun. Right. And you could put, technically, there's no reason you couldn't, preferred, pronoun, but I'm not, bollocks. We're not doing that.
We don't affect freedom of speech.
That's right, then. That's right. So, what else do you need? Well, you need to know
What you're good at.
your armor class.
And Thaco.
Then you need to know your 2-hit at armor class 0, which you have aptly called the Thaco, which is fancy talk for a 2-hit at armor class 0. Righto. Alright. Now, these are given to you on charts, yes?
We all know how to read a chart.
That's
hopefully.
right. So if you have the books, you can figure this out, but if you want a special tutorial about that, we can get a little deeper into the weeds. Oh, I like to get into the weeds, don't I? All right. Anyway, Thaco. Right. So your base armor class is
10.
That's exactly right. 10. And your base Thaco is 20. That means that give me a D20. If I'm a first level fighter with no exceptional strength or other abilities, if I'm shooting a bow, it might be dexterity. I don't have any skills whatsoever. I'm just an average 9s across the board human being. And I roll my D20. Alright. There we go. I didn't hit bollocks with that. But
their AC might be bad.
there it is. If their armor class was 2 or higher, I hit with that roll because I hit an armor class of 0 at 20. So an armor class of 2, I hit at 18. See that? So lower's better. Lovely system. Works great. I always convert when I'm playing these new editions to this system because it's what I'm used to. But it's easy conversion. It's simple math, right? All right.
It's
even
easier than newer editions.
Well, it might be. To me it is, but to other people it's, it's that funny math.
Newer editions are based off something called bounded accuracy.
Oh, is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. Is this better?
Oh, yeah.
All right. I like this.
Automatically, 'cause
Right.
It's all based off the symmetry of a D20.
Right.
20
See,
and
this always seemed easier to me, but, these young bucks, they want whatever. All right. Anyway, I'm ditching the accent again. So you want your hit points. Now, when I did my hit points, I would actually, give me a D10. Well, actually, I got to roll my con. So before we do any of this, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We got hit points here. We got to put our stats down. The only stats we need to do.
First roll is 6.
Strength, dex, right? Con, intelligence,
wisdom, charisma.
Okay. Now, charisma is a throwaway stat in this edition.
Really? Match Henchman, though.
Well, sure. Yeah.
It adds the versatility of having entire classes in your own without multi-classes.
Yeah. No, it's garbage.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, listen. Give me 3d6. We'll keep your 6 since you threw it. Throw 2 more dice. There's a 4. 1 more die. All right, so that's a very good roll.
Yep.
And
Way above average.
very much above average. That is a 13. Well, hold on now. God dang it.
You're
13.
doing that old English math.
I'm back in England. Sorry, I'm looking through a phone in my defense. All right, that's your stat, the strength. Oh, put that on strength, not hit points. All right. Okay, what do we roll? Oh, now that's
12 on Dex. Great stats.
That's a 14. You're making fun of me. You're making fun of me.
14.
Put that 14 down on Dex. Get rid of them hit points, because that ain't...
It might be true.
It might be. Con. What'd I roll?
Woo!
Oh, shit.
15.
15 con.
Hey, this might be my character.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm rolling pretty good, buddy. 15 con.
Intelligence. All right, here's
Well, it's a fighter. We don't care. It's a fighter. We don't care.
This might explain.
We might have a paladin on our hands. Something.
God
fancy. Yeah.
Oh.
Nope, there it is.
11.
11's still above average. It's right in that average range. All right. And then
12.
12 on the wisdom.
Charisma. 11.
11. So this is
Not a step below 11.
This is a solid
And
character.
that's before the attributes are adjusted.
I mean, this is a serious... Well, it's a human, so we don't adjust.
Oh.
Now, remember, with humans in second edition, you get the special ability of dual classing.
Versatile as hell.
Yeah, you get to dual class instead of multi-classing, which is a huge advantage. Now, Dex of 14, I don't believe gives a bonus. I believe it has to be 15 or higher. But you don't get any negatives, and you do get some good poison saves and stuff, but you don't get any bonus. I'm going to check, but tell me if I'm wrong. Con of 14, anything? 0. Yep, I'm right. All right, strength of 13's no bonus. Oh, we got a con of 15. That's a bonus. Okay, all right.
+1.
+1, yes. So we got some good stats, but we don't have exceptional stats except for our con, but that's really good. That's a +1. And what you would do, actually, get rid of those hit points. You would go through across from your strength, right? And you would do the hit probability if you had a bonus. So you would say hit, damage, right? And you would do this across, right? Weight allowed. So you'd want that. Weight. Max press.
The DMs nowadays don't care about weight, but
open.
They can go second.
And BBLG, right? You need all those numbers. Okay, and these are like ability checks in the newer editions, right? So hit, it's 0. Damage, 0. Weight, what's my weight at? Strength of 13.
140 is that?
Ooh, 45.
Oh, that's max press.
I can carry 45 pounds of gear on me, okay? My max press is 140? 140 pounds I can lift, deadlift. Open doors. My open doors is 6. So if I roll a 6 on a D, 6 or less on a D20, I get to open the door, kick open the door. Bin bar lift gates is very low, but still there at 4%. So I have a 4% chance to be able to bend bars and lift gates to get out.
And break these chains.
That's right. So I mean, it's a chance. You have a chance at 13. You have a chance.
It doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, at lower strengths, you don't. You can't do it. It's just not possible. Dex 14. Well, Dex of 14 has no bonus, but it also has no negatives. So you get a reaction. So that's a bonus to your initiative.
How's initiative done again, Josh?
Well, you can do a D20, or you can do it with the original D10, I believe it was.
With
rule.
Weapon adjustments.
That's right, with weapon speeds, which I am big on weapon speeds, because why wouldn't you use a dagger? Or why would you use a dagger if you didn't have weapon speeds? It makes
Hit
no
3 times before someone with a great sword.
So if I'm shooting an arrow and I have a dex of 14, right? Nothing. But if I have a dex of 15, I get a bonus. Actually, I don't.
16.
Yes. 16 is where the bonus is. But if I have a dex of 15, I do get an armor class bonus. So this is the defense adjustment to armor class. And for this, it's 0. But if it goes up 1 point, I get a +1. Okay? So there's no bonuses here, but there's also no negatives. All right? And a minus to your defense adjustment is what you want. So if you had a defense of 15, it'd be a -1 to your armor class. Unless you're wearing heavy armor. But that's what, right. That's where 2nd edition gets really fun. Okay. I think the other editions are pretty much the same way on that. If you're wearing heavy armor, you don't get your dex bonus, right?
Of course not. I think medium has a cap.
Yeah.
Large has none.
All right. HP bonus. Well, we already got that. It's +1, right? Okay. So HP bonus +1. Then we got system shock. RS, that's resurrection survival. If you get resurrected, will you live?
Trauma survival.
Yeah, poison save and regeneration. Now, obviously, you don't get regeneration until you hit like 20, I believe it is. And this is just off the top of my head.
Why would every mode show have regeneration?
Not everybody has regeneration. So we get a +1 to our hit points. Our system shock survival is 90%, which is really good.
Because
that's 9 out of...
system shock for those who don't know, John?
Well, system shock is you've lost more than half your hit points. You are going to roll, if you take in more than half your hit points in one hit, right? You're going to roll a system shock roll to see if you go into shock and die, right? And then...
is it guaranteed death?
I believe it is, yeah. 94.
And is it in one instance or cumulative?
No, it's one time.
Right.
One time. Every time you take half your hit points total in damage...
So if you're a wizard and you have 4 HP and you take 2 damage...
You'd make a system shock roll.
So it's good to have a high con as a wizard.
Well, it could absolutely be a lifesaver. Any of the thing with 2nd edition is you never know what stat you're going to need for a given situation. They all have utility except for charisma.
Oh. What about ghosts?
Intelligence, I'm not going to... This is a fighter. We've got the main stats. Okay. We got to speed this up because we're getting into 17 minutes on this video.
On this short.
That's a very short video, yeah. So, intelligence, I'm going to get languages, which I can use later for secondary skills, which will go in the back of the sheet. Since there are no spells involved here, we don't have to worry about that. But we are going to go through our secondary skills chart, roll the dice, pick the skills, and see what we got. Well, not secondary skills, proficiencies, rather. Yeah. And we're not going to use secondary skills. We're going to use proficiencies. Although when I used to play, we used to do both. So secondary skill was kind of like what your family did, and proficiencies were things you specialized in when you were training for your adventuring class. Yep. So.
I'm Hyperborean, the team master.
Right. And it's all good. You can use either or both. It's fine. Okay. Now, hit points. Back to hit points. So.
Roll that D10.
It's a D10 +1. 4 hit points.
A wizard could have more HP.
A wizard could have more HP, but
Points.
This is straight D10. It's hit and miss. Oh, what'd I roll? A 3?
Yeah.
Wow.
Could have been.
Yeah, that's rough.
Just don't get hit.
Just don't get hit.
Don't put yourself
It's real
in a
simple.
position
Yeah.
to get hit.
Play it smart.
If you're fighting something that's over there, use range.
All right, so then your hit points here, what I used to do, was I would write them out like this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'd put a dot here, wherever I was at. And whenever I lost hit points, I'd mark it off. And remember, you're at death's door up till -10.
Yep.
At -11, your ass is dead.
When do you start bleeding?
0. Yep. All right, and that's pretty much it. You would put your equipment. With your equipment, you'd put the damages and such.
Can you give us the outline of where all that would go?
Oh, God. This video is going to be 30 minutes long. Dude.
Just draw an outline.
All right, here we go.
Speed run.
Nope.
You can speed it up in editing.
Right. Well, you gonna edit this shit?
Just turn it on like 4 times speed.
Okay, so this is how I used to do it. Right?
Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. I draw a line here and I put weapons.
Weep it.
Right? Armor. Right? And equipment.
He's shitting it.
Right. Okay. And then I would put lines. All right. And then over here, you could put something like
Magical equipment.
PP, EP, SP, and CP.
Wait a minute.
All right? That's your money. That's your money. All right? Because you want your money right out there. Okay? And this hit point thing could actually, with a fighter, you might even want to move it down in this space, right? Where you got more room to really draw it out.
And if you're a wizard, you can keep that number in your head because you won't be needing to move it up and down that much.
Right. So it all depends on what you're doing. Okay, weapons. So our fighter is using a short sword. So with these weapons, you'd want to know the speed. Turn it to the weapons section, right? You want to know the speed factor. And then there's 2 damages you need to know. Large, small, medium, large, right? So that's what you'll need to know for each weapon. Okay? You got it? Okay.
I'm just getting it.
Yeah. So we have a short sword, right? There we go. That's what I want. The table is here. It'll tell you everything you need to know. So, and the weapon, you could put the damage type, right? So you could put piercing, slashing, right?
Why is damage type important?
Well, because certain creatures are immune to certain damages types. So you could put up here. Actually, let's erase this old thing. Let's standardize this shit. Right? So we're going to put speed factor, damage type, small, medium, and then large. Right? Okay, now you're going to have to fit the name of the weapon in here. Short sword. Name. Okay? Short sword. The short sword, as shown here in this chart, is... Where's sword? Sword. There's sword. Okay, short sword. There it is, short sword. The cost is 10 gold. The speed factor on a short sword is 3, rather. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to write down. That's the first real pertinent piece of... Hi, how you doing? 3. Okay. Damage on the short sword is 1d8, or 1d6, 1d8. That's what we need to know. So on our sheet, it's 1d6 for the small, medium, 1d8 on large or bigger. Okay, there we go. So there's an example. Now, say our hero had some armor, right?
Left.
How's that committed suicide?
Then we would write our armor down. Yeah. It was a couple pages up. There we go. Armor. All right. So our character has leather armor with a shield. Okay? Because they're using a short sword.
Have you seen this before?
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll just write these down. And there are alternate rules in 2nd edition where you can have a shield placed on your back, which gives you an armor class bonus to only your back, rather than holding it. So if you're using a two-handed weapon. There are different types of shields, and there's certain skills you can get where you can use the shields to do certain things. So keep that in mind. But with this, obviously, because of the chart, it tells us we have a leather plus shield, right? Leather padded plus shield gives us an armor class of 7, right? So up here, remember back here where we said an armor class 10, we have an armor class of 7. So if a goblin is coming up trying to attack us with their Thaco of 19,
Such a hero.
well, they just killed us because they rolled a 20 and we're dead. So, yeah. Well, that was quick and easy. Guys, thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. This is how you make a character sheet. On the back, you're going to put your secondary skills, if you have spells or psionic abilities, PSPs, all this stuff. But for a fighter, this is going to be perfect. This is going to cover you. And under equipment, you would put ropes and, glass bottles,
Always have 50
all
feet
this
of rope
stuff.
and a 10-foot pole.
The goblin just killed us.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you see that? Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Find all the collectibles of your dreams while you're awake.
Goblin has a high strength.
Yeah, strength of 13.
Higher strength of the fire.
Well, it's the same. They have the same strength. Oh, 14. Never mind. You're right. Yeah, slightly higher, but
What are you reading?
they're in the
from
same
phone?
range. Yeah, I'm reading through the phone. All right. Anyway, the goblin killed us. We're dead.
Shit.
It's like that anime.
Oh, Goblin Slayer.
Goblin Slayer.
Goblins.
We just made Snotty Face. He's that guy. See, they didn't name that guy in the show. Now we know. Snotty Face. And just put dead. He's dead. Goblin Slayer. Yeah, killed. Killed by a goblin. And his first adventure. Even though he had good stats, he was solid.
Where's his face?
Yeah, Snotty Face. He's right there. He's yeah.
Rest
dead.
in peace.
We'll put an X on his eyes real quick. Yeah, Snotty Face didn't
Is that
make
the
it.
rules? Do you have to draw them even after they die?
I mean, you don't have to.
Or to show
Nothing.
how they died?
That's the
what
beautiful
if you were
thing.
disintegrated? Do you draw a pile of ash?
Well, I mean, you could. Absolutely. The sky's the limit. It's your imagination on paper. So the only rules are, did you live or die? Your DM could say you're resurrected.
Well,
and
that sounds like a bitch move.
so hold on, pretend you're resurrected. Well, I have a
90% chance.
94% chance to survive resurrection.
But hold on, let me roll it.
Go ahead and roll it.
I, for some reason, have a really high likelihood to roll above 90s.
Well, don't do it.
30.
Okay, good. So you have survived, but you've been resurrected, so the rules
Level
apply.
drain.
You lose con.
Oh,
Yep.
How
1
much?
point of con. Forever.
Hey, 14 more times.
It's forever, ever.
14 more
But
times.
I also lose that hit point. So now I'm down to 3 hit points.
God damn it.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and have an amazing day.